Greetings, fellow time travelers. Welcome back to Historia, where we uncover the hidden mysteries of lost civilizations and dive deep into the secrets that shaped our world. I'm your archaeological guide, ready to take you on another mind-bending journey through the corridors of time. Today's discovery will absolutely blow your mind. We're about to reveal shocking secrets about the most famous pharaoh in history, King Tutankhamun. But here's what will amaze you. Recent archaeological investigations have uncovered evidence that could completely rewrite everything we thought we knew about this boy king. Before we unveil these incredible ancient mysteries, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss the archaeological revelations we're about to explore together. Picture this scene with me. You're standing inside the tomb of King Tutankhamun in the Valley of the Kings. What looks like an ordinary wall, just paint and plaster in the pharaoh's burial chamber, might actually be hiding one of archaeology's greatest secrets. Here's where our mystery begins. When scientists recently aimed ground-penetrating radar devices at these walls, the return signals were strange and puzzling. Behind the northern and western walls of Tutankhamun's tomb, something was hidden. Something hollow. Something that looked like another chamber. But here's the mind-blowing theory that emerged. What if Tutankhamun's tomb was simply a side chamber to a much larger and more ancient burial site? And who could it belong to? The most likely candidate is none other than Queen Nefertiti herself. Now, pay attention to why this is so important. Nefertiti wasn't just a queen, she was incredibly powerful. She ruled as an independent pharaoh, and her final resting place has never been found. No tomb, no mummy, no definitive burial site. Archaeologists have spent decades searching for clues, but all this time she might have been hidden right behind the world's most famous tomb. But then something strange happened. Everything went quiet, suspiciously quiet. No new scans, no public announcements. Some began to wonder, was something discovered and covered up? Were authorities concerned about damaging the tomb? Or was it simply too risky to open a 3,000-year-old sealed passage that could destroy the entire structure? If Nefertiti truly lies behind these walls, it would change everything we know about the 18th dynasty. This could explain why Tutankhamun's tomb was so small, why it looked hastily prepared, and why some of the treasures inside seemed borrowed from someone else. Let's talk about something everyone knows about Tutankhamun, his legendary golden death mask. This isn't just decoration, fellow explorers. It was designed to transform the boy pharaoh into a god, crafted from more than 20 pounds of pure gold and inlaid with lapis lazuli, obsidian, quartz, and coloured glass. But here's the shocking discovery that will amaze you. This mask might not have been made for him at all. Some researchers believe the face we all recognize today originally belonged to someone else, most likely a woman, possibly even Nefertiti. Studies of the mask's ears, originally pierced for earrings, suggest it could have been made for a female ruler. And upon closer examination, it appears that Tutankhamun's name on the mask was engraved over another name, as if history itself was rewritten. The mask holds even more secrets. In 2015, scientists scanned the mask using modern imaging equipment and discovered microscopic hieroglyphs carved inside the collar, invisible to the naked eye. These mysterious inscriptions call upon protective spells from the Book of the Dead, ancient rituals designed to protect the soul on its journey. Here's something that will surprise you. Tutankhamun might have died young, but he wasn't buried like a child. His tomb was packed with equipment worthy of an adult ruler. Scientists discovered 6 complete dismantled chariots crammed into the tight tomb space. Some had delicate wooden frames, while others were reinforced with bronze. These weren't ceremonial items, ancient seekers. They showed signs of real use, worn wheels, damaged joints, the kind of wear you'd expect from fast riding, maybe even racing. Alongside the chariots lay dozens of weapons, bows, arrows, boomerangs and daggers. One became legendary, the so-called cosmic dagger, with a blade forged from meteoric iron. In times when iron was valued more than gold, this weapon was something special, literally fallen from the heavens. In ancient Egypt, metal that fell from the sky wasn't just rare, it was divine. But not all the weapons were intact. Some specimens were burned, twisted and cracked from intense fire, possibly from chemical reactions during the embalming process. Here's something truly bizarre that will give you chills. Enter Tutankhamun's burial chamber and speak a single word. The sound won't behave as you'd expect. It will linger, echo strangely, sometimes with an intonation that doesn't seem quite right. Researchers have studied the space and discovered that the design of the walls and ceilings creates strange vibrations. Soft sounds are unnaturally stretched. Certain frequencies are amplified. And it's not just in the main chamber. In the annexes and side rooms, footsteps seem to follow you, and voices appear to come from behind, even when you're alone. Was this intentional? That's still unclear. But ancient Egyptian builders were precise. Their monuments were aligned with the stars. Their temples, designed so light would fall at specific points on specific days of the year. Is it possible they also understood how to manipulate sound? In the Egyptian worldview, the tomb wasn't just a burial place. It was a gateway, a room where the dead continued to live and communicate with the gods. In this sense, whispers reflecting off stone could be perceived as answers or warnings. Of all the objects buried with Tutankhamun, two should have remained silent forever. One made of silver, the other bronze, both ancient trumpets designed to pierce the air with royal authority. For 3,000 years, no one touched them. Then in 1939, the BBC decided to play one of them live on air. An experienced musician attempted to blow the bronze trumpet during the broadcast, but seconds before going live, the instrument cracked and had to be repaired. The show continued. The ancient horn produced a haunting, warlike sound, and within weeks, World War II erupted. Coincidence? Maybe, but that's not all. The trumpet wasn't played again for decades until someone tried it again in the 1960s, and another conflict flared up in the Middle East. And in the 2010s, after the trumpet was briefly removed from display for examination, Egypt was suddenly shaken by political unrest. By then, even some officials in Cairo were calling it the war trumpet. Prepare yourself for something truly shocking. Tutankhamun's body was simply horrific. When researchers first examined his mummy, they were absolutely stunned. The skin had darkened, almost charred. The body itself was brittle, shriveled, and severely mutilated. Parts of the skeleton were broken, and the resin-soaked wrappings had fused together almost like melted plastic. At first, many assumed this was just age or perhaps the result of poor mummification. But when forensic chemists tested the linen, they discovered something much stranger, evidence of burns and severe thermal damage, all originating from inside the tomb. The pharaoh's body had essentially cooked in its own sarcophagus. The culprit was the embalming process. Or more accurately, a rushed and careless version of it. Ancient embalmers had overdone it, soaking the linen with organic oils. Once the coffin was tightly sealed in the small airtight chamber, these oils reacted with the trapped oxygen inside, possibly causing a kind of slow chemical combustion. But the embalming was far from complete. The body was missing ribs and chest bones. The heart, considered the most sacred organ for judgment in the afterlife, had vanished entirely. For a pharaoh, this was simply unthinkable. What caused such haste? Some believe Tutankhamun's death was completely unexpected, and embalmers simply didn't have time to follow protocol. Others think his death might have been politically sensitive, forcing priests to bury him quickly before anyone could start asking questions. Chapter 8. The Sacred Aromas of Eternity. Here's something absolutely fascinating. Inside Tutankhamun's sealed tomb, archaeologists were struck by something completely unexpected, a distinctive smell. This wasn't just the scent of dust or decay, but a sharp, sweet aroma that had somehow survived for more than 3,000 years. It came from ancient ointments, incenses and embalming oils stored in alabaster vessels, sealed since the day the tomb was closed. Some of these containers haven't been opened to this day, and when researchers finally opened them, the contents were still semi-liquid, dark, resinous, and incredibly aromatic. Scientists discovered ingredients like pistachio resin, balsam, cedar oil, animal fat, and traces of a dark tar-like substance. This wasn't done randomly. These were sacred mixtures used for preservation, purification, and preparing the pharaoh for eternity. Egyptians believed that aromas possessed real power. Scent wasn't just luxury, it was spiritual protection. Gods were associated with specific fragrances, and the journey to the afterlife was determined, at least partly, by smell. Chapter 9. The Hasty Royal Burial. For a pharaoh who became a global icon, Tutankhamun's tomb strangely stays silent about his personality. We'd expect to see magnificent inscriptions, detailed accounts of his life, and titles carved on every wall. Instead, we find hasty paintings, strange scenes, and an almost complete absence of mentions of his name. At first glance, the burial chamber seems royal enough, with scenes depicting Tutankhamun with Osiris, god of the dead, and others showing him embraced by deities. But look closer and everything seems off. The lines are thick and uneven, the layout cramped, as if the artists were rushing and trying to hide something. Perhaps the chamber was really intended for a woman, for Nefertiti. The room's size is smaller than any other known pharaoh's burial site, and the wall paintings include stylistic choices seen in female royal tombs. On some walls, figures have outlines that don't quite match their current appearance, suggesting edits, a quick reworking to transform one identity into another. This led to the theory that Tutankhamun was buried in someone else's tomb. His sudden death probably caused confusion among officials. They needed to quickly find a resting place, so they modified an existing tomb, repainted the walls, changed the names, and filled it with whatever treasures could be quickly gathered. The result? A royal burial in a space that never really belonged to him. Yet, this strangeness might explain why his tomb was never looted, while larger tombs with grand entrances were raided centuries ago. Conclusion: the eternal mystery. Fellow time travellers, what we've discovered today about Tutankhamun reveals that even the most famous archaeological discovery in history still holds incredible secrets waiting to be unveiled. From hidden chambers that might contain Queen Nefertiti, to a golden mask that wasn't originally his, to weapons forged from cosmic metal and trumpets that seemingly herald war, every aspect of this young pharaoh's story challenges what we thought we knew about ancient Egypt. The burned body in its golden prison, the sacred aromas that survived millennia, and the acoustic mysteries of his tomb all point to one incredible truth. Tutankhamun's greatest secret isn't what we found, it's what still remains hidden. What do you think, ancient seekers? Do you believe Queen Nefertiti lies behind those sealed walls? Could the golden mask really belong to a powerful queen rather than the boy king? Share your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Historia for more incredible archaeological adventures. And hit that notification bell so you never miss our journey through the greatest mysteries of lost civilizations. Until our next expedition through time, keep exploring the incredible legacy of human achievement. And remember, the greatest discoveries are always waiting just beyond the next sealed door. This exclusive historical analysis comes from Historia, your gateway to the world's greatest